and welcome to this course of product design and value engineering. As this is our first session, we will see introduction of the course. But before that, let us discuss this first. What we want to discuss, you might have guessed by the logo here that we want to guess about the Make in India initiative. What is Make in India initiative? It is an initiative by Government of India that has planned to manufacture most of the things in India itself. What will happen if we manufacture most of the things in India? It will make more manufacturing units in India, and the more manufacturing units will obviously generate more jobs, and the more jobs and more manufacturing units will mean that we will have the biggest economy as we have biggest labor force. But is it so? Will we become biggest economy by just manufacturing more in India? Let us discuss some facts. If we compare total workforces in industry working over the world, here are top 5 countries which have biggest labor forces, and India is second after China. But if we consider the GDPs of industrial sectors contributed by different countries, then in top 5 India is 5th. And if we say compare percentage wise amongst these top 5, then India have 30% of workforce in industry among these top 5 countries, but only contributes to 5% in terms of GDP. That means that even though we have large number of people working in industry and we are manufacturing large number of items, even though we are our GDP is less. Our GDP is only 5% as compared to our workforce, which is 30%. Why such big difference? Why such big difference, and how we can reduce this difference? So we can reduce this difference by developing various products. Why? Because when we talk about GDP, most of the profit will go to the companies which design the product and which sell them. Most of the manufacturing we done in India as well as they done in China are for different companies of other countries. So that most of the products which are manufactured in China and India will contribute to GDP of some other countries, while they will receive only their minimum of the manufacturing. So how to develop product? We can start by our own design. We should start designing more, we should start developing more product, and we should start investing in intellectual properties, that is in patents and in trademarks, etc. And research and innovation should be there to increase the economy boost and to contribute in this new product development cycle. So how can we develop this new product, and is it that simple to develop new products? There will be many questions like how to develop new products, what is the process of developing new products, then how to design these products, how can we design different products, then is it developing which product is worth developing, and which product should we not develop or should we not invest to develop, because we have many ideas, we have number of ideas, and which ideas to invest into, that is a big question, and many more such questions are there. So can we develop products easily, or how to answer all these questions regarding product development? We do not have any systematic ways for it, and we wish that we had something that can help us with it. So that is why we have introduced a course on product design and value engineering, which is offered by GTU in 8th semester, and this will ask give answer to all these questions which are regarding this product development, this new product development and this new product design cycle. So let us see what is the course content and how many hours will we study in this course. First of all, according to GTU teaching scheme, this course should be taught 5 hours a week, in which 3 hours of lectures should be there and 2 hours of tutorials should be there, and course credit will be 5. And what will be the syllabus of this course? So the first chapter will be product design, in which we will learn about different types of design and what is product design, how to think in terms of design. And then there will be product design for manufacturing and assembly. In this we will discuss how to design product for manufacturing, keeping manufacturing in mind, and how to design products keeping assemblies in mind, such that our assembly and manufacture will be easy while designing the product. In the third chapter we will discuss product development process and product planning, how to develop product and how to plan the product, how we can develop entirely new product and how to plan the product such that we can introduce the product in the market itself. In the next chapter we will discuss product analysis and material selection. In product analysis and material selection, we will talk about which material should be selected for the product and how to analyze our developed product, how to analyze our design, how to critically analyze the design features and how to improve that. All this will be discussed in this fourth chapter. In the fifth chapter, we will discuss about identifying the customer needs. As customer is paramount importance in the product, and the product that we have developed should be developed kept in mind customers needs. So how to identify these customer needs, what actually customer needs and what actually customer will buy. All this, the different techniques of identifying this customer needs will be discussed in this identifying the customer needs. And the last chapter is about value engineering. The value engineering is a part of identifying or determining the value of our product. How can we improve our existing product, or how can we improve the features of the new product that we have developed. All this will be discussed in this section, this chapter of value engineering. This is relatively a new concept. Value engineering is relatively a new concept and is very much demand in recent days. So this will be all in our GTU syllabus, and I hope you will enjoy this lecture series as well as this course. Happy learning.